we're back.
We're live.
weren't we just here? Have we left?
Like
Have we left? I've been sitting in this chair the whole time.
For a week.
Yeah, for a week. We've been ready for a week. I think this is the first time we've been on time.
Yes.
Starting our show. So it took us a month, but we're getting there.
And I've decided that my project next week is going to be to find us a cool intro song. Remember, Shell and Kel had that really cool.
Oh yeah, so definitely. I mean, you should call somebody in the AV industry who knows how to do that kind of stuff.
I'm going to find the song. I know somebody in the AV industry that can put it together.
Yeah. You just need to get the music to him before 10 minutes before the show.
I know. You noticed everything with me is last minute.
Well, did you notice that I'm an AV professional and I'm used to living in last minute? That's my entire life.
I think that's why we get along so well.
I often say I am in the last week, last day, last minute of somebody else's nightmare every day of my life. So advance notice is any time before we go live. So
I know I couldn't even find the link today.
I know that. I mean, we have come along.
You're like, are you coming?
We have come a long way. You and I basically show up here like a couple minutes before we need to go live, figure it out on the fly. We're just like, we just need handlers to point us in the right direction now, right? So
it's easy because we're interviewing amazing authors and they're telling us their stories and they're hopefully telling us like things that they wish they knew before, so we can help people that are watching that are aspiring authors, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're helping you as, aspiring authors not to be showing up at your podcast, just finishing your book a minute before you got here. But,
exactly.
So we are really doing the don't do it our way. That's what we should rename the podcast. Don't do it our way. Don't do it our way. Do it this way.
Well, we'll do it the right way.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, we had to come up with the right spotlight,
because it's right, correct, and right.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're fancy.
I love a good word, right, with double meaning.
Oh yeah, double entendre.
Speaking of a lot of words.
Oh yeah, customer delight. 365 of those babies.
Street cred. You got street cred.
Oh yeah. I did show up this time. Unfortunately, I still haven't found the actual Wagmore book, but I do have the Wagmore journal, which was the last in before I packed up. So it's been easy to find.
Yes.
We're getting closer. I have most of my Wagmore assets here. For those of you who don't know, Kellen is also an author, and she's also Cards at Wow, who also has all kinds of promotional options to help you grow your attention awareness of your book. And so this is a wonderful little mug that was the first mug we drank out of in our new home.
Oh, I love that. So Brian gets you to the finish line. He helps you finish your book. And then I get you promotion like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kellen's a master of cards that wow, books that wow. Wow. Bow wow.
Okay, so now let's talk about joy.
I know. I mean, first things, hey, I'm on the call here with you, Kellen, one of my most joyful friends, but I know somebody who's even more joyful than you. I am sorry.
I know that's hard to believe. I know.
I know. I'm afraid we're going to bring down the internet once we bring our guest in today.
No, I know it.
I know. It's going to be hard. Yeah, I mean, the bandwidth is going to get used up. The joy bandwidth is like going to get through the roof.
So just give a little bit. Tell how you met her, because you met her on LinkedIn, was it?
Yeah, I mean, I got her. I forgot to take down her LinkedIn address, so might as well talk about it. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the real powerful stories of social media and LinkedIn. But Cindi Cohn, our guest, who's coming on here shortly, she and I just randomly connected. We had some common event industry contacts. We have some common authorship and content creator contacts. And we were just like, hey, we should catch up. And we got on the call and Cindy's like, Brian, I need to write a book and I want to get it done by my 52nd birthday. Her 38th birthday. Okay. Her 38th birthday, or was it 29? I don't know, 29. But, and I go, okay, when's your birthday? Oh, in 3 months. I go, you want to write a book in 3 months? She's like, yeah. I go, how long have you been, do you have one? She goes, yeah, I've been working on it for like 20 years.
Isn't that the story of everybody? I've been working out for 15 years. I've been working out 2 decades.
So yeah, I'm like, you're going to have to take a different path. Luckily for you, I actually am working on a course to help people write a book in about 90 days. It was definitely, we did not know that we were going to talk about that. I hadn't even talked about it with anybody. I was just playing around in the background. I go, if you're willing to play along, I have this idea and I will coach you through the process. And I found the perfect student right off the bat. And Cindi, she wrote the book in under 90 days.
Crazy.
More joy. It was a delightful process. I got, we've built a great friendship. And, it's just like, this is just a random LinkedIn connection. This is 2 people who just were like, kind of like us in Facebook.
She's like a joy dynamo. Let's bring her on.
Yeah. She is dying back there. She is just like, I need to talk.
Hi, Cindi. Hi to the world.
Oh, you guys. I know I was like chomping at the bit going, but I don't want to say this too.
Yeah, that was on purpose. We needed to do the intro and leave you in the penalty box in the back of the studio. And I saw you.
You were even commenting in the comments. We need to let her in now.
This party started. Got to break the internet.
See what I mean? Guess.
I guess I should show her comments while we're talking.
Who
is this person spamming our stream here?
I'm so excited to be here. Can you tell?
No,
I can't tell at all. Can't tell at all.
Oh, no. This is extra special for me today. Yes, I go on a lot of podcasts and have my own show as well, but it's extra special to me today because Brian is near and dear to my heart, and I really want to talk about why. Can we not have the full view of my face?
Weren't you hoping she wouldn't say anything and we would just do it?
There we go. That's the setting I was looking for.
Look at Kellen's Bucky's shirt. Is that not the best? Bucky's for the win. All right. So anywho, the reason I'm super excited about today's show is I get to be my dearest friend, Brian, who's not only a friend, but I met him on LinkedIn. And yes, he became my book coach. But more than that, let me take it one step further. He created my brand, which there would be no more joy. There would be no Queen of Joy without Brian. And that's the truth. And I can't change that fact. And not that I would want to, but I'm saying it's so much more than a book. And of course, we have now 2 books in 1 year, both bestsellers. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, wait.
I know I'm singing his song here about him, but honestly, y'all, he has changed my life. So it is what it is. Yay! I'm super proud of actually my second book, the one that just came out a few weeks ago, the Planner Journal, because I keep getting a ton of texts with screenshots of people writing in it and what they're saying, how it's changing their life. So I'm thrilled about that. I love to hear the feedback because you don't always get feedback, and so it's really nice.
You write the book hoping you will affect one person in a good way, right?
Exactly.
But then when you get multiple, it's like, yes, that's feeling.
I knew it would because it's literally my morning routine. The journal planner. It sets my mindset for joy for the day. So if it's doing it for me, and that's the same thing that happened with my first book, then it's going to do it for you. It's I tested it already. Yeah. I love how you also do it with your family, Brian.
Yeah. I know. This is actually Megan. I can't open it up because the front pages, because I gave it to my wife Megan, and my daughter Ella has a copy as well. And we're doing it as a family. We don't do it every day as a family, but hey, it's a point for us to touch base with joy, and that's what I love. You wrote this book here, which is the instruction manual, and then you give us this active opportunity to engage in joy, and what I found was interesting, you know, I'm kind of behind the scenes with you, you know, I know what you're doing, but when the book showed up, it was just so engaging. It was so like, oh, I couldn't help. I mean, and I remember you trying to make the decision, like, should I do color inside of this?
Right.
Or should I just do black and white so it can be a little bit cheaper? And, you know, the color, it needs to be there. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, your brand is more joy, and you can't do no.
Just the color alone brings more joy.
I know. I smiled as soon as I saw you. I'm like, oh, I was thinking of wearing yellow today.
And you did. He's yellow.
I did wear a little bit of yellow.
You did. You did.
Now
Ryan,
Kellen, is Bucky sending you money? Because I mean, we haven't worked out the sponsorship. We haven't worked out the sponsorship dollars
that's
on
what
that
I should
yet.
work on because
Kellen, I'm not joking. Okay, I had said this is really true that I wanted to get a RV or a bus, and I wanted Bucky's to be the sponsor. I wanted to do like a More Joy bus tour, and on the back, I wanted it to be Bucky's, and it was going to say fueled by Bucky's and More Joy.
Nice.
Like, because you know they have 180 fuel.
I know, it's crazy all the fuel pumps they have. It's
yeah.
Like, I have trouble deciding what I'm gonna have for lunch. So can you imagine me going there to get gas?
I know, right? That's too many decisions to make. Hey Janice, thank you for coming.
This is an international show. Janice is coming in from Toronto today.
Woo-hoo! Lots of friends from.
Well, I know we have international replays too, so that's.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know Joaquin watches us from Hell, Norway, and yeah, if you let us know in the comments, I will definitely give you a shout out.
Thanks, Janice, for being a regular customer of the Right Spotlight. This is, I think, the third time we've seen you here. So thanks.
Does Janice have a book in her? You need to know.
I can't talk about Janice mentioning she might be interested in a book. Did I say that out loud on a stream, Janice? I mean,
out there forever.
No. Once you put it out there, you have to put it into fruition. So.
Yes.
Now, Janice is actually a prolific writer in the event industry. She writes in lots of industry magazines, and we
should have her on to talk about that type of writing.
Yeah. And she's focused on mental health, so we'll have to have Janice on.
Oh, I need that.
That's a big topic for me too. I love talking about.
Sorry to distract from Cindy, though. We got Queen of Joy here, Janice.
No, I love it. I love it. The more, the merrier. Let's bring her on.
Yeah, jump in. We'll send you a link, Janice, if you want to join us. Let me know.
We like to put people on the spot here.
Oh, very, very bad, Brian.
It brings more joy for us.
Uh-oh. I didn't release anything to the world. I'm sorry, Janice.
I think she'll forgive you.
Yeah.
Of course, we know you're going to write a book. We know, I mean, you're just a prolific creator anyway. So, I mean, it's only just a given that you're going to be bringing that to us someday. So
trust. Okay, she's going to come on.
Everyone has a book within them. Everyone has a story to tell, multiple. You know, what is the statistic, Brian, on how many people want to write a book? Yeah,
I mean, I've done both. There was a New York Times study that said 80% of people say they want to write a book. And about 1% to 2% actually get around to doing it.
We are the 1%.
And, but you know, our goal with this show is to break that down. To get it, we need to get that down. We need to get that like to 50% or something. Because I think
if you were at the helm, it would be because you get this done.
Oh yeah.
How many other people have I sent to you that you've also, they send me texts. Oh my God, thank you so much for introducing me to Brian. He's the best. I'm like, yeah, I know.
My total Brian fan club right here.
I have a couple clients imminent here. So, you know, we'll have to invite the Brian Monahan author club here to the group one of these days. So
that would be fun. You should
have a panel. We could do a panel.
Yes.
So I actually don't know if, you know, you guys need to know this. I mean, Kellen wrote a book called Wagmore, and Cindy, you're like a dog lover, aren't you?
I mean, you guys, a little bit.
I mean, only a little bit. You got yourself a gold.
Bring my dog on the stage if I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. I mean,
feel free to leave because one of us leaves at one point of this show anyway. So.
I mean, I think Cindi thought I was kidding when I say we're,
okay,
dogs.
The one time he's not waiting for me at the door, he's outside, is the time I ask him, of course.
Yeah, that's typical.
He sits right there every time I'm in my office and waits because I don't let him in because there's a lot of stuff on the floor that he's a puppy he'll get into.
Right.
Shows you how messy I am. On the floor, there's things.
I work on the floor, so I guess I'll be sitting in the corner.
It brings me more joy.
It brings me joy. I have a question about, I know Brian was instrumental in having you get the book through the finish line, but what was your inspiration? Was it a person, an event?
Well, I have a couple of things. I still actually have a book that has been in my nightstand for now it's about 10 years. Was it 7, I think, when I met Brian? But it's pretty deep. And I didn't want to bring it out as my first book. It still needs to come out. My husband keeps reminding me, what about that book? I'm like, yeah, eventually I'm going to get to that book. But what motivated me for this book was I was in a very deep depression. I was having some major marital problems. I was having a dog die in the dying stages. I was having some issues at work. It was just like the perfect storm. And I generally am a optimistic, positive person, but I could not get out of it for anything. I was in bed crying all the time. If I did get out of bed, it would be in my voice, in my eyes. I was not the person I'm standing here today whatsoever. And one night God woke me up in the middle of the night and he was I felt like I was slapped across the face, boom. It was I did not design you for this. Get up. And it took a long time, a few steps before that happened, but I ended up starting to seek joy. Part of my seeking process was journaling, and I was writing down things, which is how the book kind of developed, because I ended up using all the things that helped me change my mindset every single day. And my situation hadn't changed. That's the key. Okay. So nothing externally at that point when I wrote the book was any different. Yet I was finding more joy every single day. And so I was if I could go from what I down in the dumpster of dumps to up, anybody can. Exactly. And that's where that came. Yeah.
So I think it kind of brings me to this term. We share what we need most for ourselves. Right?
Yes.
I saw a post the other day and somebody said, every time you read a LinkedIn post, act like it's a note to self from that person.
It's true. But that's so true, Brian. By the way, I love your posts. You have awesome content. It's right on point always. And for me, I find them funny most of the time, which, I love yours.
Well, you egg me on. I mean, you laugh at my stupid jokes. What can I say?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you throw me softballs all the time. And I'm Cindi posted that so I could comment on it. I know it.
I literally do.
She makes it easy for me.
And then I just comment and share your stuff. So I don't even have to write stuff. Because it's so good. I'm I can't top this.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen just kind of like that little peanut gallery person that pops in with a comment. Hey, check this out.
Don't miss this.
This is my friend Brian.
He's amazing. I do always call you amazing. So
he is. Wait, we gotta. It's you need it. Okay, Brian book coach. We need another B word. The best. Brian, the best.
Well, I do have a nickname that's not quite as public of a name that Kellen knows of that has a rhyme too. And I don't mind if you share it.
Just don't share it, Kellen.
Well,
Kellen, I won't tell anyone.
In our Megamind group, I earned the title of Bourbon Brian. I'm not bringing up any early pandemic Zoom happy hours.
Funny.
No.
When the event industry was shut down and the world looked very bleak.
That's hilarious.
I think I have a screenshot of you.
Yeah, that's not. I
will never share it. I will never
public.
Don't share it with Janice now that I've told her be sharing her info on the web.
Although you have inspired me to have I love bourbon now. Like I really.
Oh yeah, well, you and I met up when you came to Cincinnati, and that was the first thing we did. Is we had a little glass of bourbon together.
Aw, you should have Michael Ray on your show.
I know we need to. Actually, a number of people. We have 2 people from Louisville from our Megamind group, and they both know Michael Ray.
He was on our Candidly Speaking show.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote the foreword to my book, and he did
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
I hope your ears are burning, Michael Ray.
Michael Ray will be contacting you.
Yeah, I should go tag him in the post.
I have one of his sweatshirts too.
Michael, I need to meet you. I'm in Louis. My day job, Prestige. We have the Louisville. The Kentucky Venues account down there, and I'm down there all the time, and I sneak in a bourbon here and there and that's how I built my love for bourbon. But yeah, I'm in Louisville probably 2 or 3 times a month, Michael, so we'll have to meet up next time.
All right, you better listen to our show since you mentioned his name so many times.
Yeah,
he should be #bourbon.
#bourbon.
Put #bourbon in the comments.
All right, I'm going to look away while I type. Okay, you guys keep the show going.
I have another question.
I didn't know about you. I know you're supposed to be interviewing me. Now I'm interviewing you. But I didn't know about your publicity that you're good at getting like.
Oh, for getting interviews and things like that? Yeah.
Sign me up.
You're signed up. We'll talk later. Don't worry.
Okay.
But I want to ask you some questions. So I know with joy comes gratitude.
Yes.
And how does that play into?
Oh, it's everything. Joy. I mean, gratitude is the root.
Because gratitude is my business. I strategically help people show gratitude and.
Oh my gosh. We have to talk after the show. I love that. So we totally are intertwined there.
We are in sync.
And I could tell, like, you didn't even say that earlier, but in my mind, I was like, gosh, you bring a lot of joy. Like, I saw that in you, and gratitude is the root of joy. So it's like, duh.
If you think about everything you've done in your life and anything you've had success with, I'm sure gratitude played right along with it. So
yeah. How does gratitude and joy differ anyway? I mean, they seem so interlinked.
They feed off of each other. They totally feed off of each other. With joy comes gratitude, and gratitude creates joy. So
right. As soon as you start being present in the moment and being thankful for the things that you have, you lose sight of the things you think you need or don't have. Right. That's the problem. Everybody's doing that. The comparison game, especially on social media. I've even had an HR manager this week tell me she had to close down LinkedIn because it was just so overwhelmingly just made her feel negative, and I can see that if you allow it, but you have to reframe it is the thing. Like it just depends on the situation, but you could change your perspective of something and it automatically will change everything and bring you to joy and gratitude.
And you know that gratitude done with your heart and authenticity is way, way more effective than when you're doing without any expectation. Like I teach people how to not look like you're just trying to kiss their ass.
So you teach gratitude, basically. That's an interesting.
Well, I teach strategic gratitude because there's also the right time, the right place, the right thing. And you need to be aware of that.
So what I find is so interesting is that's like an innate thing for me. So to think of someone that doesn't have that innately and have to be strategically taught to be grateful is like, oh, I've never even heard of that concept.
I know. And it's needed.
That's interesting. So I guess they come from a background where it wasn't maybe modeled, or was it one of their core values or something like that?
I think a lot of it, I think you start out with the innate nature and doing it with your heart and with authenticity. But I think when you get in a corporate world, it changes you.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's the very top question from her journal is, what am I grateful for?
Yeah, same thing in mine.
I mean, it's everything. You have to write down what you're grateful for. There's always
I'm grateful for.
Oh yeah.
There is always something to be grateful for.
Are you two the same person? I mean, are you stunt doubles or what?
She has pugs and I have Goldens.
Okay. I think you guys might be stunt doubles or
I should
something.
put my black glasses on though.
Yeah, you'd like to live near me. Oh, I'm gonna be in Georgia next week. Are you anywhere near Buford?
Oh my God. I'm like probably 15 miles.
Okay, well, I'm doing an event there. We'll connect.
We're gonna connect. Okay. I'm excited.
Wow.
See?
Okay, before we forget, what is something you wish you knew before? Because we try to help our listeners learn from our mistakes.
So I wish I didn't take as long. I've learned, that there's no better time for anything but the present. The present moment is all you have. So you have to take action on anything, whether it's writing a book or calling someone on the phone or thanking them or sending a card, whatever you might do, checking on someone. The only time we actually are guaranteed is right now. So now's the time.
Love it.
Love it.
Okay, I did 3 questions. It's your turn.
What? You're putting it on me now?
Yeah, well, I do.
Y'all have a pump up song before you get on their podcast.
That's what we need. That's what I'm working on.
We're only in week 4, Cindy, and Kellen. You know the story of this, right? Kellen called me on a Saturday. We hadn't talked in a couple months, and she's like, "Hey, let's catch up Saturday and strategize on how to promote our products and businesses and support each other." Mm-hmm. She's like, "Hey, I want you to be my co-host of this show called The Right Spotlight, and let's start next Saturday morning."
She's my type of girl. Action. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, I know if I didn't do it, I wouldn't do it. I would talk about doing it. I would put it off.
The exact same way. I put whatever. If a thought comes in my head, it goes out on legs.
And the bottom line is,
I know.
If anyone could pull it together, I knew Brian could.
Brian's the best. Yes, he pulls.
Well,
Brian's still working. Brian and I still have a bone to pick about his website, though.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to have it all updated by 9:15, but my excuse was Kellen. Okay.
Okay.
She took away my month of working on my website.
Okay.
and had me, do this podcast, which I think in the long term is going to be much more powerful.
I agree.
And it's a great thing to add to the website. But yeah, I'm a little bit behind schedule, and I'm gonna get moving on that. So
that's right. See, I'm Brian.
Oh, should I go on the record, and so Janice can call me out on 10:15 if it's not updated?
Oh, you mean 10/15/24?
Yeah. I didn't mention a year.
That's when we call you out next.
All right. Well, ChatGPT, send me updates, okay? Does that work? Does it work that way?
Can I just say, I'm a big fan, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I love it.
I can't get on. It's like full all the time.
Really?
I waited too long.
It's probably because me and Brian are on.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Brian and Cindy are using up it all. Well, the other day, Kellen's been sick, unfortunately, for the past, 10 days, 12 days, 2 weeks. And so I'm like, I need a description of our podcast, because we interviewed Cynthia Mannion last week, and I don't know Cynthia as well as Kellen. So I'm like, can you write this? And she's like, I go, never mind. And I go to ChatGPT.
I fell asleep. I literally fell asleep.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, all right, we're going to ChatGPT this one. And then ChatGPT was down, so it took me like 4 hours.
It's even better than Google at diagnosing problems. Literally,
I know.
Cough, this, that. Done.
Well, that's what I did after I got off the call with Kellen. How to start a podcast in under a week, and it told me what to do.
Really?
No.
I believed you.
Oh my God.
What to do when a friend drags you into something in under a week?
At least I drug you into your forte.
And it said run, and it just said run with it.
Yeah, I love it.
And block Kellen. Oh boy, hold on.
Goodness gracious.
So question, Cindi, so you wrote this book. How has it affected your business since writing that
Everything,
book?
yes. So, I mean, I have 2 books on Amazon, so they both bring in money, which is nice. But I also have a community that I did after the book, first book. So I have a community of people that all love joy and are uplifting. You've been there. They inspire each other. It's a beautiful community that you can go to when you don't want to look at all the negative stuff of the world and other social sites. This is the place. And so we do that. I do that. And that's kind of a reflection too of my book. I have the podcast now. I have retreats. My retreats was sold out until last night. It's been sold out for like a month or more. And then one person had to cancel. And now I have to find a replacement.
Is that why you're going to be in Georgia?
No, different one. The retreat is here in Pigeon Forge, October 13th through 16th. It's the Women of Joy. If you've ever been to that conference, like Lisa Turkhurst and Candace, Cameron Bure, all like really amazing women are going to be speaking. And then so we're going to that conference, and then I'm tapping into my joy onto that and doing it. It's going to be in the cabin. It's beautiful. And I mean, in the Smokies in October, I mean, it's the best time of year to be here.
Perfect temperature too.
Super excited. I'm sure someone will join as a replacement. God will bring the right person. So yeah.
So you've got your retreats, you got the More Joy community. If we head over to cindicohn.com, you can find that. Is that the best way to get to you? And then LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
I think your LinkedIn.com/Cindi Cohn. That's nice.
Why do they make that so hard? Why can't you just
drop the N?
LinkedIn. I will say there's one thing missing in my life from LinkedIn, and it is I cannot for the life of me earn that yellow badge that I want so bad. Everyone in the world has it, but Cindi Cohn. But I'm not comparing. I'm finding joy.
I'd like a pink badge.
What is that?
There you go.
I don't know, just I like pink.
Oh, I do too. Pink's one of my brand colors too. Hot pink.
There's a question from Janice. Cindi, what was probably the most difficult part of writing your book?
There was this one point, Janice, that I put a deadline to myself on when I needed it to be done by. And it was causing me stress instead of joy. And Brian had to go, whoa, find some joy in the journey. You just wrote about that in the last chapter. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So Brian held me accountable to practicing what I was preaching because I was missing that at the moment, that I wasn't finding the joy in the journey. I was like trying to rush to get it done by a certain date. And that was not giving me any joy. So once I dropped that, then everything changed again.
Yeah, I remember that day pretty clearly. I'm like, this is not matching, Cindi.
That's why it's great to have a book coach like you that can tell you the truth and hold you accountable, because there are things that happen during the process of writing a book. There will be times you won't be motivated. There will be things that happen in your life that you're like, should I go on with it or whatever? You need someone by your side to remind you of why you started this, and let's continue, give yourself a pause or a break, whatever, but then they get you back on track. So it's super important. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it alone. That's why you're my right hand.
All right. Oh, that's that right hand, right? No, it was, and the other thing that's really cool, obviously I'm coaching a number of people right now, but working with you gave me such insights to, like the emotional pieces that people go through the process. And it is an emotional process to write a book.
Very.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't want to forget.
No.
I have to tell you the weirdest thing of the whole process. I never expected that once I pressed I don't know if it was when I pressed send and it was done or when the book arrived. I forget the exact, but the flood of emotions that and one of the emotions was fear. Like, oh my God, I just put all this stuff out there in the world. And I had never occurred to me that emotion would be there. And that's the one surprising factor I want to tell your listeners is there are surprises like that. I didn't realize I would feel weird. Like it only lasted like 10 minutes, but first I was like a little bit of regret, like, oh my God, what did I just do?
Well, luckily you're such a, you're so efficient. You're such a step into the future. It took me like a year to get over my books. So it only took you 10 minutes. But yeah, it is. I mean, I think that is something. It is like, oh my gosh, it's, can I live up to what I just put on paper? Right. And that people can pull it out and be like, oh, on March 22nd, 2016, Brian, you said, this. You're like, I guess I did. So
you feel like
it's totally different. My husband will bring it out, like if I'm having a moment, a day, whatever.
Oh,
like,
my.
That's not being more joy. Totally calls me out on it, and I'm like, it makes me laugh. So, and then I'm back to myself. But it's like I love almost to be called out on it.
Well, I mean,
We're human.
Well, I do think that's what we write, what we need most. It's like that's what you want for yourself, and it's like a manifesto. And then people start saying, "Wait, you're not living up to it," and they will. I mean, that's the other thing to warn people about. Yeah, especially
they want to find the negative, so they will find it.
Especially the people closest to you will call you out because they know you the best.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks Cindy's just pure more joy, but at the house, like
I'm here. I always try to tell people that that's not true. I'm just human like everybody else. I'm not always joyful. Sometimes I'm ornery. I'm tired. I'm hangry. I'm really bad at the hangry one. I mean, my husband will go, eat.
Yeah. After our
family, though, my brother and sister are the exact same way. We're like horrible at that.
I had the same issue after our podcast last week. My wife's like, "What's the matter?" I go, "I think I'm just hangry." All I've had is coffee, and I've been on this call with two other just over the top people. I'm toast.
Isn't it exhausting when you're done with this?
I know. It's like
you got to put so much into it. Like I'll go probably take a nap, not just because I'm sick.
No, I know what you're saying.
I will just kind of just go zone out on my back porch and go, because you got to be up
and 10%. That's my whole life, though. Think about it. I have to do that like for a lot of things all day long.
So maybe your next book should be less joy, so that you can take it easier.
No, what I do is I just get when I'm not on, I just get on the couch with a blanket and my dogs, and I'm just like quiet and happy as a clam.
No, I get it. Totally get it.
So would we call, when we finish up today, would that be a joy hangover? Or?
We're all going to have one. She's in practice.
I'm watching a football game with my husband and dog. So I started at Florida State, and then I switched to Clemson to be with him. And they're playing each other today, Florida State and Clemson. So it's always a big game for us. So I'm excited. That's it.
Watch the dogs. Go dogs.
Yeah. No, he has his orange Clemson collar on, and it's going to be fun. Have some chicken wings. Nice healthy food.
I never had chicken wings before I moved to Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kellen.
I can't believe I'm going to see you next weekend.
I know. I'm like so excited. I am going to be in town. I'm going to be in town
next Saturday.
I think I'm going to be in town. Yeah.
Only there from 10 to 2.
Drive.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Should we
Brian,
ask?
I'm going to make you jealous. Actually,
I know.
You'll have a show next Saturday, so you'll have to come after your show.
Maybe I'll do it in the car.
Kellen's been known to do the show from anywhere.
I did it. Well, my other show, I did it. I've done them in London. I've done them all over, haven't I?
Well, I mean, we could just do it live from wherever you are. So
yeah. Cool.
Okay, so do you want to ask the question, or do you have
go for it.
So
you go for it.
my old show, we used to ask, what is your favorite moisturizer? But we've changed it to, what is your favorite thing? So do you have a favorite thing?
Like an object thing?
It can be anything. It can be anything.
Well, my favorite thing, I know this is going to surprise everyone, but my dogs are like my everything. They are like terribly so. Yeah.
I knew it. We didn't even have to ask you.
And Brian, speaking of which, it's been, this week is the week Whiskey passed a year ago. Yes, and Whiskey was golden. He had at the end up to 30 seizures in one day. It was awful. But no, so dogs are my everything. Like, I love sunflowers. I love relationships. Like, those are my things, honestly.
Those are awesome things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like margaritas, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that's a good one. Now, do you drink whiskey or bourbon?
I don't.
Okay. It is totally acquired. When I first drank it, I couldn't stand it. I'm like, I'm drinking turpentine. But then I realized there's different grades. And
isn't there Pappy Van Winkle?
Oh, that's a good one. Heaven's Door has been my new favorite.
Oh.
So that's.
Oh, so now I'm like a total bourbon pusher. I'm feeling bad. Like
this is really bourbon. I know it looks like coffee,
right?
Well,
I guess that we follow up this podcast with the More Bourbon Show. So.
No, it's sponsored by
right.
bourbon.
I know. I would love to get a bourbon sponsor. Bourbon and Buc-ee's, BB.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And BB for Brian.
Brian Bourbon Buc-ee's.
BBCC.
I don't have any B's. I don't have a B.
No.
We'll have to be careful with the K's.
What are your 3 pugs' names?
Max, Rocco, and Gus.
Oh, that's cute.
It's like an Italian mafia.
I love that. It does sound like that. That's so funny. Mine are Murphy and Dexter.
Oh, I love them.
I got a Diego.
Oh, that's funny. Diego.
we inherited him.
That's hilarious.
All my cats were named Bud.
Oh, I had Buddy.
I was too lazy to come up with new names. Bud the first, Bud the second, Bud. Never mixed them up.
Can't go wrong with that.
We had a Buddy and a Duffy growing up. So couple
can I ask one more question?
No, you're not allowed to ask any more questions. Time is up. Sorry, can't ask any more questions.
If you could be remembered for one thing, I know the answer.
I know. So let's think of something else. I do legacy is part of that book, actually. That is in the nightstand. It has to do with legacy. Mm-hmm. And legacy is super important to me. I honestly guess joy. I mean, obviously, but really, I just want to be remembered of someone that impacted people's lives positively. Like they felt better after spending time with me.
Yeah, I know I do.
Yay! That's really if I had to boil it down. Yeah.
Well, and Janice, thanks for stopping by. Laughter is infectious. Thank you for being one of our loyal guests here, and have a great day.
This was so fun. Wait, did you say bye to me?
No, I said bye to Janice. She sent us a bye. She had to move on for the day. She's going shopping, but
we'll let it slide.
No. Well, Cindi, we are going to wrap up, though. We do appreciate you jumping on the show today. I mean, I don't know how to. I don't want
to. Okay.
I can't. I mean, I'm having a hard time kicking you off the show. I mean,
how can we kick off joy?
No.
I know.
The problem is now you're all worn out from me, and now you're both going to go take like a 3-hour nap.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go float in my pool.
Here's you guys texting later. Can we not have her on for another 2 years?
Yeah, Coach Phil, we're gonna have to push your show back a week.
We're recuperating from the Queen of Joy show.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
I love Saturday mornings with Brian.
Right? I can get used to it.
Well, there are going to be some mornings. There are going to be some Saturdays I can't make it. So, I mean, Cindi, you're invited as a co-host anytime.
Yeah, maybe we'll my co-host with that. I think we might be well together.
I think we might. Let me see.
I might lose my co-hostship here.
All right, yeah, you're fine. Bye. We got the moves. All right.
Yeah. All right, Cindi. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was honestly super fun.
It was a blast. Thank you. So
I know my cheeks hurt a little bit.
Enjoy your blue M&Ms in the green room.
All right. Oh,
I mean the yellow M&Ms.
See you next Saturday now.
Hey, I know.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Have a great day, Cindi. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was a blast, Kellen.
Oh, I knew it was going to be very high power, and she is infectious in a good way. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, between the Cynthias and the Cindis this past 2 weeks, I mean, we definitely.
Your mouth hurt from smiling so much.
Oh, right? I know. And Cynthia and I got together this past week, and she's just as joyful off the podcast as she is on it.
She's joyful on when she's commenting on posts in LinkedIn. I can just feel the joy. So what a wonderful guest. We were so lucky to have her.
Yeah. So Cindi, thank you so much for jumping on here today. You can find her at cindicohn.com. I think if you just type Cindi Cohn into the internet, you'll probably find her.
Or type Cindi Cohn Joy. You'll find her.
Yeah, you'll definitely find her that way.
Check out her book. Go on Amazon and get her book. Okay, so next week we have Coach Phil.
Coach Phil Gilks. I don't have any graphics for Coach Phil, but
we'll get some. At least I might be able to stay awake long enough to help you with this one.
Yeah. So, a couple things. Actually, I'm on Phil's show, The Business Renovator, on Thursday.
Oh,
cool. I think we go live around 10:45. So, hey, stop on Facebook. Coach Phil
Gilks.
Great
show. He's got a great. I mean, he's I love his show. It's very
he
lots
brings
of information.
He brings on a lot of really just high-end business folk that have just really strong business acumens, and then he brings us two on. I know
I've been on a couple of times. One time, I'm not going to talk about that. So.
But Coach Phil, we met him through the Megamind group back in the early pandemic. I think he was our first Canadian in the group. I don't know. We crossed the border. It was legal for us. It was legal to cross the Zoom border during the pandemic. So we got to be good friends with Coach Phil. He's been I had the pleasure. Have you met Phil in person yet?
No, because I was going to meet you guys, and then he said the timing was.
We had some miscommunications on the timing. Was that the same week you were in though later, or no? Those were totally different weeks? But
no, I came later, probably to see my daughter.
So I got to meet Coach Phil that week. Earlier this year in Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's had some great tourism. I've been able to meet so many of our friends that we met through the.
Have you met Randy?
I have met Randy Chafee as well. Yeah, he's been in. He's going to be actually in at the end of September. There's a conference he attends every year in Cincinnati. So
cool.
Actually, he's on a 90-day. What is he on? One of those 90-day.
75 hard.
Yeah, and so he's no bourbon during that time. So, but
what's cool is in our group we have quite a few authors.
Oh yeah,
who will eventually be guests on our show as well.
Yeah, Randy, I don't know if we have you scheduled yet. I know you got a book coming out, but
he would be an up and coming author because.
Yeah.
But his book, I can't wait for his book.
Oh, I know, he's the best.
Hybrid, Randy.
Force multiplier.
Yeah. Shark. Never thought I'd be happy to be called a shark, but
no, I know. So we got Coach Phil next week at 10 a.m.
10
or 10:10. Yeah, that's right. We by accident, by being late a few times, we decided it's going to be 10:10.
Whoa, what? We have a show? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'll eventually be 10:20, 10:40.
It'll be 10 something.
10 something.
And then the first week in October, we have Alan Barres, who
Alan's wonderful.
He's written a million books. So we got to decide which one we're going to talk about.
Yeah, Alan is just, I mean, he's got so many great stories from his military and his different security type work, active shooter response.
And now he's been acting in movies. Like he got a small part in a movie. Yeah, I just talked to him a couple days ago. He sent me a picture of the set. I go, show me what the sets look like, because do they really look like in the movies where the front looks like a real live bar, and you go around and it's just a bunch of like pieces of wood holding up a flat facade. It was crazy. It was really cool. So maybe he'll talk a little bit about that too. So no, we got some great people. I mean, we got people that are talking about relationships, talking about motivation, your humor being. I mean, it's the topics that we have are just so diverse and fun. So I can't wait for our next show.
Yeah, we got some international guests coming up in the coming months. I think Michael Heppel is going to.
Yes. Yeah, he's very excited. He sent me a message the other day. He goes, "Oh, I'm very excited." He goes, "What a great idea for a show." Thank you.
He is a book author.
He said, "Write that." He's the one that he was my.
I got his book sitting over here somewhere and off to the side.
I don't. I've got. Oh, it's way over here where I can't reach it. But it says he re-released his 17 book, limited edition. He edited, and I've actually reread it over the last weekend. Really good. We got some good stuff. So we've got most of our spots filled through the end of the year, but we still have a few spots. If I think if you contact us, send us your book, we'd love to read it and talk to you about being on our show. Yeah,
you can go to therightspotlight.com. We got a domain name, and then from there you can
official.
And then you can click on the YouTube channel, The Right Spotlight, and then you can subscribe.
Please subscribe.
And you can subscribe to our newsletter, which will give you updates, let you know who's coming up next.
And just so you know, Brian does everything.
Well,
fire me. Although I get good guests. I'm getting some.
No, I mean, you've got all of our great guests, so we've got some fun. We make a great team. We complement each other. So, but well, it was great being here this week with you. Hopefully, you we both get a little nap after this today. I mean, Cindi definitely is.
I love her, man. I love her. I can't wait to see her now. I'm going to see her.
You think of this? I didn't have to. I got to, but I talked to Cindi for about 90 days in a row. And I definitely.
Well, what a blessing you have! You should be grateful for that.
No, I mean, it was wonderful, and it totally has. I honestly can say that spending time with her has made gratitude and joy a much higher priority for me, and it has made a big difference in my life. It really has. Slow me down and say what's important to me, family, friends, things that bring me joy. And I just, is it bringing me joy? It's just a simple question. And if it's not, why am I bothering with it?
Exactly. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining in. We appreciate your loyalty. Tell your friends, save, like, all that stuff, share. And until next week, we will see you on The Right Spotlight.
Awesome. See you soon.